year. And off we go from Durham with strike one. See the numbers for Knight. We mentioned the 20-game reach base streak. Walked in the ball game yesterday. The win for the 49ers at Longwood. But it was Rhodey who had the big game with a couple of home runs. Quickly, 0-2 on Knight. I imagine for these teams, certainly there's some new faces from last year, but for the most part, you feel pretty good about each team, right? You know what you know from that postseason a season ago. And there's a ball outside.
Yeah, and you spoke it into existence there. This is a huge game, and for postseason implications, and these two teams are very familiar with each other coming off the Durham Regional last year. And even further, Abigail Knight was in the ACC last year, so she's very familiar with this Duke Blue Devil team.
1-2 on Knight. And she pops that one to the right side and out of play. Knight, a bit of a homecoming, the native of Robbinsville, North Carolina. I imagine she's got some friends and family in attendance.
Yeah, all these Niners fans travel really well. Not too far from Charlotte University.
A four-year player for the Eagles was Knight. Started off 52 games as a senior a year ago, and she goes around. Strike three. It's the 89th strikeout of the season for Cassidy Curd, and a good start this afternoon.
Now up, first baseman number 20, Ariana Rhodey.
Yeah, we'll take a look off to the side. Looks like she gets Knight biting. A really nice call by our third base umpire, Jimmy Robinson. And that's what Cassidy Curd, that's how you know she's effective, when she gets those half swings from the offense.
Rhodey had the 2 home runs yesterday. She's got a hit in 13 of her last 14 games, had a lengthy hitting streak that came to an end. She had a 29-game reach base streak that ended against Wichita State last Friday. She had a 390, 534, 831 slash line during that reach base streak. Just unbelievable numbers for a sophomore.
Yeah, she stepped in behind Cassidy Krupa, who graduated last year, the power-hitting first baseman. Cassidy Krupa was a mentor to Rhodey last year, and this was sort of all a part of Ashley Chastain's plan, and boy, has it worked out.
You mentioned being a mentor. As someone who helped develop younger players during your career, how vital is that? Not just for the older player in the relationship, but the younger player too, in the continuity for a program.
Oh, it's absolutely huge to, when you come in as a freshman, your eyes are wide, you're trying to figure out college, you're trying to figure out this brand new chapter, and especially playing college softball. So for Rhodey to see how Krupa had approached day to day as a veteran, how do you get through the ebbs and flows of a season? It's so critical for a culture to have those seniors to look up to and learn from.
Rhodey played in 36 games last year, made 20 starts, so certainly got more than her feet wet in her first collegiate season, and that probably paid some dividends going into today and going into this season as that one fouled away, and it's 2-2. Curd got the strikeout of Knight to start the ball game. Looking to put Rhodey away here, and does. Back-to-back punch-outs for the Blue Devil left-hander.
And this two-seamer by Cassidy Curd freezes the sophomore Rhodey. Rhodey thought she was going to go up in the zone. There she paints middle, and freezes the sophomore, gets her second strikeout of the day.
What have you seen so far out of Curd that you've liked? I mean, a really small sample size today, right? 2 batters in, but what have you seen so far?
Well, she's attacked the zone. We see it there.
Out to second, Vega up with it, and it's a good start. 1, 2, 3 go the 49ers in the first. The Blue Devils will get their first crack at it on
success over the last couple of years.
Ready to go here as the first pitch bunted foul up the third baseline for strike one. You mentioned the numbers on Gress, who makes her 16th appearance of the season, 6-6 this year, a couple of saves. She's worked in a variety of situations this season.
Yeah, the innings are actually a little lower than they were last year. She got hit in the hand against USF earlier this year, so she's kind of working her way back in, but the changeup is going to be key. She's going to work mid-60s and work off that changeup east and west.
And their first strike, quickly 0-2 on Tapia, who leads things off for the Blue Devils. Just how Tapia the Blue Devil first baseman. 4 left-handers in the batting order for Duke this afternoon. And it's really interesting, and we'll talk about this a little bit more, the depth to this Duke lineup for head coach Marissa Young as Tapia takes upstairs. Really not an easy out, 1 through 9 in this Duke lineup now.
No, and she's not afraid to move it around and move people in and out and find the perfect 9. Giselle Tapia has not been the leadoff for the majority of the year. It's been the 9-spot Deanna Jennings who's been in that role. But boy, has she done a good job of just finding ways on base.
Grounded foul up along third. And it's 1-2 on Tapia. You mentioned the season last year for Sam Gress. As you see Tapia's numbers, the Conference USA Newcomer of the Year, first team All-Conference USA. 39 appearances, 31 starts, had a sub-2 ERA, 21 complete games for Gress, so 150 strikeouts. First Charlotte pitcher since 2017 to have at least 20 complete games in a single season. Talk about being a workhorse. So reliable for her coaching staff. Can take the ball every single day and know you're going to get a good start.
Yeah, and she's a competitor. You can see it in how she's interacting with her defense. I mean, this defense in between every single pitch is communicating. Sam Gress, although only a junior and only a sophomore last year, was such a leader for this Niners team.
Yes, Sam! Yes, Sam!
It's outside. And really experienced in the league, too. She started her career at NC State. Had a nice stint there for the Wolfpack before transferring to Charlotte.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ashley Chastain has put this Niners program in front of ACC teams early and often throughout her career, too. So a ton of experience against the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Foul again. Good at bat here by Tapia starting the ball game. How big is this at bat for Tapia? This will be, what, the 8th pitch of the at bat for everybody in that third base dugout to see what Gress is going to offer this afternoon.
Well, it's huge because it sets the tone for the rest of the lineup. And when you pass the bat to a batter like Claire Davidson, then she passes the bat to a bat like Amina Vega. If Giselle Tapia can get on, she's really the tone setter for the rest of this offense.
Another foul ball. It's the 4th foul ball of this at bat.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed too is Charlotte, and this is not new to them, but they play along with the data. They use the data to inform their defense how to work. Outfield is pretty shallow. Tegan Ritchie at shortstop is really close to second base. Ella Chansey is back, so they're playing the numbers on Giselle Tapia.
Playing her to go the other way. That one too far upstairs, and now a full count. All right, so 3-2. You've seen a ton of pitches if you're Tapia. What are you looking for here if you're the Duke first baseman?
It's likely going to be the screwball from Sam Gress. That's what I would throw. That's her best pitch, her best command pitch. But Gress also will pull the string too, so I expect her to go away.
To the left side, the shortstop Ritchie up with it. Has to hurry the throw and does. Good at bat, but it goes the way of Gress to start the ball game. 1 down. Brings up Claire Davidson. And there's Marissa Young in her 7th season as the Duke head coach. The only head coach the program has ever known, and talk about just the model of consistency here in Durham, really from the word go.
Yeah, she's believed it since day one. She's believed that this program could be the number 2 ranked program in the country, and she's put in the work. She's a lead by example type coach, and she's just done a wonderful job in building this Blue Devil program.
Brings Claire Davidson to the plate as Davidson takes ball 1.
And we see it here again, the Niners playing the numbers. Ella Chansey is about 40 feet away from third base. They are begging Claire Davidson to drag bunt down the third base line, which for them would be a win against the hottest hitter in this lineup.
Swings and misses here, 1-1. Oh, I want to dive deeper into the data point here for the 49ers. We don't see a ton of teams maybe use these pronounced overshifts in softball, maybe like we do on the baseball side. Do you feel like Charlotte's maybe a little ahead of their time in terms of the analytics and the way they position their defense?
Absolutely. I think they're bought in, and they've been doing this for a number of years. This is not a new thing for the Niners defense, and I like it. I like it with the data we have with Synergy, 643. All of this information is accessible to Charlotte, and why not use it in this way until, the offense beats you?
2 balls and a strike here on Davidson, and that's out of play.
And one thing I really like watching about this Niners defense is Lexi Winters behind the plate. She will deke you out. She'll set up in, then go away, and it doesn't matter if there's a runner on second. She's deking out the dugout. As you'll see, she'll set up in against Claire Davidson. She'll work away, and the entire defense knows what pitch is coming, and so they adjust pitch to pitch.
2-2 on Davidson. And that's outside. Now to play devil's advocate with these shifting and all of the moving parts here, let's say you've got a player who's got 50 career at-bats, or maybe a freshman who's got 20 career at-bats. Is the sample size large enough to be able to have a pronounced shift like this?
Yeah, and that's the point. I think that is the sticking point for Ashley Chastain as they continue to grow. And also, you have to balance, too, the spray chart of your pitcher. Where does Sam Gress most often get ground outs, get flyouts, 2 strikeouts, and balance that with the hitter at hand? And so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out throughout this game.
So there's the walk, a rarity. The 49ers third in the American in terms of fewest walks allowed as a pitching staff. They've only allowed now 88 walks this year, so something they don't do very often, walk batters, and a dangerous spot to be in here with Amina Vega coming up. Talk about a hot Blue Devil hitter. Vega, who has had that monster weekend against Virginia Tech, she has just been lights out for the Blue Devils this year.
Yeah, she's been solid, and it's been in the most important part of this lineup, which is right behind Claire Davidson. Amina Vega has been huge in protecting Claire Davidson in the 2-hole.
To short, that could be a double play, and it is. So the Blue Devils line into the double play. The 49ers able to flip. Everybody enjoying the nice weather. 0-0 as we head to the second, and a big swing and a miss here by Ella Chansey to open up the second for the 49ers. Chansey, the junior out of Athens, Georgia, having a nice season with 4 home runs already. To the right side and foul.
Yeah, and for Charlotte here early on in this game against Cassidy Curd, this is not a new arm to the returners on this team. They saw her last year in the Durham Regional, but it's getting on time. You know, they're not used to seeing 70+ miles per hour every single pitch with movement up in the zone. So the more on time they get, the more balls they're starting to barrel, the better off they'll be.
Swung on and missed, pops away from Torres, and the throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and Chansey will reach the first 49er base runner.
Coach Marissa Young describes Cassidy Curd as effectively wild. This time it was wild and it was effective, but a little too out of the zone. It gets by the senior Torres, makes a throw, but just pulls off Tapia from the bag. And Ella Chansey makes it to first, and the Niners have something cooking here at the top of the second.
Leadoff man aboard. Here's Lexi Winters, who takes one low. Wait and see how that's scored. I imagine a strikeout wild pitch, but we'll wait for the official ruling. Would be just the 5th wild pitch of the year for Cassidy Curd, who now looks to get a little help from her defense as the count levels on Winters.
Yeah, Cassidy Curd has really dialed that part of her game in this year, coming from last year. A little bit more wild last year. Has kind of reined it in a little bit. But that's the piece that makes her so effective as well, to throw that 2-seam fastball and intend for it to be in the zone, and all of a sudden it just jumps up. And that's why she gets swing and misses. So you can't have one without the other.
Had a great campaign as a rookie. D1 softball freshman All-America, ACC All-Tournament team, first team All-ACC as well. And that's bunted foul for strike 2. Trying to build on that success as a sophomore, which I imagine has its own challenges after such a successful rookie campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a freshman, you have sort of the element of surprise to offenses. They don't have data on you. They don't have as much video on you. This year, she's one of the names they circle. They're going to prepare for her, specifically for her. So having to deal with that, you have to kind of elevate your game in a different way.
One on, nobody out. That one to the right side. Oh, nice play there by Vega. This could be 2. Ring it up for the Blue Devils. The 9th double play Duke has turned this year. And the infield flashing the leather for Duke.
2 down.
So Lexi Winters is going to try to do the slap hit. Does it effectively. Hits a line shot at Vega. Vega picks it back in, gives it up to Baker, across to Tapia. And the double play is made, but not before Ashley Chastain is going to come out and have this one reviewed.
Previous play is under review.
What do you think of this review? In general, is safe. So take the double play off the board. Fielder's choice. Winters is at first, one out. And that was a good challenge there by the 49ers. Coach Winters has done such a phenomenal job with this Charlotte program, a perennial power in Conference USA, now making the jump to the American for the first time this season. Here's Hoffler, the second baseman, cut and a miss there, strike one.
Yeah, it's not a bad timing, now looking at who's up to bat and how hot Corey Hoffler, the grad student, has been. Whenever you're knocking on the door against Cassie Curd, you don't want to give outs away.
Inside to even up the count. Hoffler, 58 starts last year for the 49ers, hit 243, 9 homers, 4 doubles, and 23 knocked in. A little early on that one, and slices it foul, 1-2.
One thing I love about watching Corey Hoffler hit is she adjusts pitch to pitch. We see her late early in this count. There, she fouls it off. She's still late. But in that NCAA regional last year, she adjusted so well pitch to pitch and found her timing very quickly.
And a swing and a miss here. Chase went up and out of the zone. Third strikeout already for Cassidy Curd.
And this is what Cassie Curd will do to you. She'll attack early, and then she'll climb the ladder late. There, it's just gas up and out of the zone. Hoffler unable to find a barrel, and Curd gets her third strikeout of the day.
Brings up London Dirks. Dirks, who was 1 for 3 in the ball game at Longwood last night, takes a strike here. 4 for her last 7 at the plate, which includes the 1 hit last night. Not bad when you've got your 6 and 7 place hitters as hot as these two are. Fouled away, and Curd way ahead, 0-2. Like the way Curd's attacked the zone so far today?
Yeah, she's done a really good job of getting herself in a good position early on. The more you can attack with first pitch strikes, the better you set yourself up to expand the zone. As a hitter, you have to get Curd early, down in the zone, otherwise she's going to climb the ladder late and she's going to make you chase.
Way ahead here, 0-2. To the right side for Davidson, and with the sun in her face, she makes the catch, and the 49ers are turned away in the Blue Devils in the second, and takes a strike. And to your point, this is a 49er team and a program that has challenged themselves against the best of the best. They have won 10 games against the ACC since the 2022 campaign began. To the right side, hit well. Dirks is back, and this ball's off the top of the wall. Extra bases for Gold, who's on her way to the third with a leadoff triple.
That's a triple for Anna Gold.
Gold, who just missed a home run, which would have set the program record for career home runs, and this close to breaking the record.
Yeah, Gress goes in with a screwball and then goes away with the curveball, and Anna Gold just gets her hands extended out to right, about a couple feet away from the program record for Anna Gold, but a really good sign if you're a Duke softball fan that Anna Gold is starting to get hot, as she's been a little bit cold lately.
Well, the weather's heating up, and so is she. How about that?
Absolutely.
Here's Kelly Torres, the Duke catcher. Torres puts one in play to the left side, and Duke has the early lead. Torres with her 18th RBI of the year, and it's 1-0 Duke in the second.
Duke's first run.
Kelly Torres is some of the best bat-to-ball skills on this Duke team, and that's exactly what you need in this situation. Find a pitch over the plate, hit it through the infield, make them play. Charlotte there was playing in, expecting something like that, but it finds the 5-6 hole, and Kelly Torres, the senior, gets the RBI.
And now Francesca Freelich, the designated player, takes ball 1. Charlotte's got another one of those big overshifts on here with 3 players on the left side of the infield. This is, as we mentioned, something that an offense like Duke or most other teams do not see on a consistent basis. How long does it take an offense to get adjusted to something like this?
Well, you can't really change your swing. You can't change your approach, but you can let the data, the way they're positioned, inform you on how you're going to get pitched. So Francesca Freelich right now is probably going to get pitched hard in. They might go away late, sort of cat and mouse surprise her, but it opens up that bunt to the right side. And Francesca Freelich is a very good bunter, but that's what Charlotte wants you to do. They want you to get out of your comfort zone. They want you to try to beat the shift as opposed to beat the pitcher. And for Francesca Freelich right now, if she were able to put a bunt down the right side, Rhodey is far back. Gress will have to take it, and it gives an opportunity for them to move runners.
Still a hitter's count here for Freelich. To the left side and down, another base hit. 3 straight hits have opened up the second for the Blue Devils. Just a good piece of hitting there by Freelich.
Yeah, a really nice job, and she even got jammed up a little bit, but that's kind of what we were hinting at there with letting the defense inform you on where you're going to get pitched. Knowing she's going to get up and in, knowing how Gress's screwball is one of her best pitches. There, Francesca Freelich does a really nice job of getting her barrel on plane, and despite being late, uses her strength to get it out into shallow left and get her a base knock.
And some early action here for the 49ers as Gress in a little bit of trouble. Jordana Barefoot, the redshirt senior, getting loose. And showing bunt there was Goddard, pulled it back, and both runners will advance as the ball off the mid of the catcher, Winters.
Yeah, and that wasn't a fake bunt steal by Sarah Goddard. That was showing bunt, getting in the eyes of Lexi Winters and it getting by her. But I think that's actually an underutilized tool for offenses is the fake bunt, pull the bat back right in front of the catcher's eyes. But even without the bunt, Goddard does a job.
So called a wild pitch, called strike there, 1-1. Now a base hit, plates 2, and gets this Duke offense off and running here. A Duke team that averages over 7 runs per game. 9th nationally are the Blue Devils in terms of runs per contest. 10th nationally in batting average. Just a complete offense for Marissa Young's club. 2 on, still nobody out, and a run in for Duke. That's dribbled to third. And a nice play by Chansey to look the runner back for the first out.
Yeah, as good as this Duke offense is, this Charlotte Niners defense is very solid as well, and really nice executed pitch there by Sam Gress to go change up away, slow the bat down of Sarah Goddard, then go hard in, get her to roll something over to the left side, check her get the out. Really nice job by Ella Chansey and the rest of this defense.
Brings up Jada Baker now, the Duke shortstop. Fouls that one back for strike 1. Baker, one of the team captains. Started every game for the Blue Devils this season. Didn't mean to swing, and it's strike 2. Those are the worst, aren't they, for a hitter?
Absolutely, absolutely. But that kind of speaks to how good Gress is and how aggressive this Duke offense is it's yes, yes, yes until it's no. There it's yes, yes, yes. Whoops, I got a foul ball. Now I'm down 0-2.
And now if you're Gress, you can really go anywhere here, can't you? Popped up, and it'll hit the screen.
And Gress has started to find a rhythm here with the up and in to the righties. The issue in this lineup is the lefties will take advantage of that pitch because they can get their barrels out and extend. But for these righties, if they don't make an adjustment and lay off that up and in, Gress is going to eat them up. That's what makes her so, so good in the circle for the Niners.
Here we go, Sam.
Again fouled away.
Way to get in there,
Where do you think she goes back to here?
Well, I think now that you've peppered inner half, and Baker knows it, the difficult part is you want to keep pounding inner half to get her to roll over. Anything right side has the potential for Torres with some speed to score, but you also, at this point, you've peppered 4 pitches on the inside half, so maybe going off the plate away, get a chase, get Baker guessing.
That one to the right side, runner coming home. A great throw from the second baseman, and the out. Hoffler with a strike to the plate, and Charlotte will certainly trade the bases for the outs there.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting here by Baker to hit something hard to the right side, but an even better play by the grad student, Corey Hoffler. Darts one to home. Lexi Winters gets it. Torres tries to make her work.
Center fielder number 10.
But not quite enough. Appreciate the effort from the senior. But Winters wins the battle.
Oof. Got missed on the first tag. Made sure she tagged her the second time. 2 down, 2 on. Here's Jennings, who goes around for strike 1. Deanna Jennings, one of those 4 lefties in the Duke batting order. Jennings, who leads the team, one of the leaders on the team in hits this year, takes down and away.
Yeah, and Deanna Jennings last year was the mainstay at the top of the lineup. Ran into some trouble this year with that foot out of the box, so for folks at home, keep an eye on her left foot. If any part of her foot goes out of the box, it's a strike on the batter, and something that she's been battling this year to not get called for.
Swings and misses here, and it's behind in the count 1-2. How do you adjust to that? I mean, it's obviously it takes a lot of skill to make sure you're still in the batter's box.
Yeah, well, you can actually see it in how Deanna Jennings sets up. Look how far off the plate she is, so she works closer into the plate during the pitch.
Swings and misses there. A really nice job by Gress to...
As it is, but it's even more difficult when your old hitting coach is in the other dugout and knows your weaknesses better than anybody.
No hits yet for the 49ers, their first 2 at-bats. Another good look there.
Yeah, Coach White has the hand in the offense at Duke, but also has greatly improved this defensive squad. Last year, about 15 points lower, fielding percentage-wise, and she's just done such a good job of building this defense, building the confidence of the defense, while also attacking the offense as well.
Duke fielding 975 as a team with play beginning today. 975 through first 32 games, pretty impressive number.
Very solid, very solid. And when talking to head coach Marissa Young about that adjustment, she said she's made this team prideful in that aspect. And last year, she felt like that piece was missing.
Down the left field line, got out in front of that one. Perhaps a change up there. It's 1-2. Kayla Mitchell starting things for the 49ers. Just down the road in Summerfield, North Carolina, where she calls home, right outside of Greensboro. Been some pretty good athletes that have come out of that area. I think maybe most notably another sport, Liz Kitley, the post player for Virginia Tech. Foul back 1-2.
Yeah, what a year for Kitley.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, so heartbroken to see her go down with the ACL injury, but I know she'll have a wonderful career in the WNBA.
A tough way to see her career end. Did so much for that program in Blacksburg. 1-2 on Mitchell. Curd ready to go to work. Swinging a foul.
And for Michaela Mitchell, you know, the numbers, I think she would even tell you, hey, I've gotten off into a slower start than I'm used to. But Duke pitching her very wisely, because they remember Michaela Mitchell hit a shot 200 feet out to right field last year, 2-run blast in the regional. So we haven't seen the off speed yet from Cassie Curd until this at bat with Michaela Mitchell.
Curd gets the swing and miss. Her 5th strikeout.
And Curd just makes this look too easy. Up in the zone, a lot of movement. The gyro spin gets Mitchell guessing. And the 5th K of the day for the sophomore.
Curd now has 251 strikeouts.
251st career strikeout. Nice round of applause for her. Big milestone there for the sophomore, who despite the strikeouts has done a very nice job of kind of minimizing any traffic around her, just the strikeout wild pitch and the fielder's choice in the second, but has really done a nice job until this at bat, of course, but pitching ahead.
Yeah, I mean, off of that, getting ahead, she was at 52% first pitch strikes in 2023. That's jumped up to 67% first pitch strikes. Average across the country is right around 50. Average on the team is 60. So it just speaks to the growth and development that this young woman has put in the bullpen with head coach Marissa Young.
To that point, first the 1-1 on Richty. It's 1-2. How important is it to be able to get ahead, strike one, strike two for a pitcher?
It's huge, because then you can climb the ladder, you can chase. For example, with Charlotte, they're picking a zone. They're going to try to hit in, try to hit away, cut the plate in half. That's the only way you'll have success off of a pitcher like Curd. So when you attack early, get strikes early.
Like that?
You can climb the zone late.
Or you can just have the bottom fall out, back-to-back strikeouts. That's 6 punch-outs for the sophomore left-hander.
And this two-seamer just moves down in the zone, up in the zone, this time at the top of the zone. But, you know, when you can miss over the white when you have the velocity like Cassidy Curd does. You can miss over the white when you have the run and the movement that Cassidy Curd does.
Lineup turns over now. Abigail Knight will get her second crack at Curd, and she takes ball one.
But also, Chris, it's also, you don't have to labor deep in accounts once you get ahead. And for Cassie Curd last year, she'd get behind 2-0, 2-1, these leverage counts for the offense, and she'd just have to pipe it. And when you get in those counts as a hitter, you can guess a zone, and if you guess correctly and find a barrel, the velocity coming from Curd does all the work for you.
On a day like this, it is, to say it's windy is an understatement. Nice idea to keep the ball down today.
Absolutely. And I was actually surprised to see Cassie Curd starting, knowing Jayla Wright's a drop ball pitcher, doesn't give up a ton of long balls. And so if the Charlotte 49ers can get their barrels on top, attack early in counts, they put themselves in a position that if they can get one up in the air, I mean, it will fly today.
I don't know what the handicap on the number of home runs is supposed to be today. I was going to take the over, but probably should have taken the under the way it's looking right now. No home runs yet, although Gold just missed hitting one out of here in the bottom of the second. That's low, 3-1. It'll be interesting to see the adjustment now for the 49ers second time through the batting order against Curd.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's going to be the biggest part. That's going to be the most critical part, is how can you adjust your second time through. And then for Curd, it's that cat and mouse game of however you pitch this offense the first time through, can you elevate? Can you do something different? Can you work in that off speed the second time through? And I think Kelly Torres really well-timed meeting there to go out 3-1 count with 2 outs here and say, hey, this is the top of the lineup. Let's attack here, because Abigail Knight has some speed, and then you have to deal with Rhodey right behind her.
Pretty good 1-2 combination at the top of the order for the 49ers. Curd trying to pitch her way back into the count, but cannot. That's ball 4. First walk she's allowed today, and Knight has now reached base in 21 straight games for the 49ers.
And that's what Knight does so effectively. She has a really good pitch selection, knows the zone like the back of her hand. And this is the position you want to be if you're the Niners. Your best bat up, wind is blowing out. Abigail Knight on first base.
Birdie with 13 home runs on the season. Remember, she hit 2 last night in the win at Longwood, and takes one low here. And just as we talked about Curd pitching ahead in the count, she's fallen behind now each of the last 3 batters.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. I think we'll see if this continues. We'll see a visit from head coach Marissa Young here in a moment.
That's ball 2.
And this is what Ariana Rhodey does as a hitter. You have to kind of work around her because you don't want her to beat you. Every offense has that 1 or 2 players for Duke's case. We will not let her beat us. And so Cassie Curd is trying not to let Rhodey beat us, but in doing so is kind of giving her the momentum here in this at-bat.
There's a strike. But even if Rhodey were to reach here, still need to have other players behind Knight and Rhodey step up and deliver those big hits.
Yeah, you got to have someone to protect Rhodey. That's going to be crucial as they go down the stretch, because if she keeps hitting the way she is, she's going to get walked a lot.
Well, chased a bad ball there, and it's 2-2. Curd back in the count, trying to truncate the third inning. The 2-2. And the count is full.
And Abigail Knight will be moving on the pitch here. So anything in the gap likely scores one for Charlotte and ties things up.
To the right side, and caught by Vega to end the inning. Nice job of right personnel up there in the third. Second time through the order. Tapia leads things off for Duke and takes strike one. Tapia grounded out in her first at bat, but the ground out came on the 10th pitch of the at bat. So a quality at bat for the Duke first baseman. She's behind the count here 0-2. Well, the bottom fell out of that one from Gress.
Yeah, and that pitch we're going to see a lot more the second time through. Didn't use it a ton the first time through this lineup, but we'll see Gress work that pitch in more and more as these Duke hitters get their second look.
Big overshift on here with 2 strikes. And that one misses away. Do you say anything to your hitters as a coach facing these shifts like Charlotte's done so far today?
I think you remind them that don't try to beat the shift. Let the shift inform you of where you're going to get pitched. But it's different hitter to hitter. For example, Giselle Tapia might want to know that information. Claire Davidson, the hottest hitter on this team, sees it and hits it. They don't tell, and in talking to Coach Young, they don't tell her anything. They don't tell her what pitch to sit. They just say, see it, hit it, and it works pretty well for the senior.
Off the end of the bat, knocked down by Gress and won't have a play. So Tapia aboard to start the third. See if that comes back to hurt the 49ers there on a ball right back to the circle.
Yeah, another really well-executed pitch by Sam Gress. Goes with a changeup again. Giselle Tapia tries to fight it off, but just eats up the pitcher. And against elite teams, with Duke being one of the most elite in the country, you cannot give them outs and opportunities. Oftentimes, they'll make you pay.
First error of the afternoon on the 49ers as Davidson takes low. And if you're Gress, can't let that continue to fester in your mind.
No, the junior is very good at flushing it, moving on to the next pitch.
Davidson in the shallow center, and the shortstop Richty is out to make the catch as Davidson retired for the first time.
Number 17, Vega.
Here's Vega, line into a double play, her first time up. Vega takes low. You surprised the Blue Devils have not tried to run a little more in terms of the stolen bases today?
No, because of who they have at first base. I mean, if they had Anna Gold at first,
Sure.
Deanna Jennings, Giselle Tapia, not known for her speed. And also, you know, knowing who you have up to the plate, you want to give them the opportunity to hit one to the wall.
Line to second, and just back is Tapia. Almost a second double play turn by the 49ers. So Vega is retired, and now it's Gold coming up as we take another look.
And here again, the Niners are positioned perfectly up the middle. Corey Hoffer, really great read. Next play, unable to get Giselle Tapia, but a huge couple of outs for Sam Gress in this Niners defense.
1 on, 2 out. Gold tripled to the opposite field her first time up. Remember, her next home run will set the program record for career home runs. Almost ran it out of here the last time.
Yeah, I think without that crosswind going out to left, I think it had a chance.
Gold takes inside. She's been sitting on this tie for a while. Her last home run, February 25th against Villanova, 19 games ago.
Yeah, and I don't know if Anna Gold is aware of the record. I'm sure she is at this point. but every hitter goes through a slump, if you will. And we were talking pregame, Chris, about this Duke offense and how we talked about it last inning. You have to circle a name. Don't let her beat you. For Duke, it's Claire Davidson and Amina Vega. But Anna Gold came into the year as the most highly touted hitter in this lineup, most powerful hitter. So, if she starts getting the wheels moving, this is a very, very dangerous Duke lineup.
Hitters count for Gold. Out in front of that one, and wallops it foul for strike 2. But it's not like for Gold she's slumping at the plate. She's still getting on base. She's still driving the ball. We saw the triple a moment ago, and also playing pretty good defense as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's pretty exaggerated when you say someone's slumping when they're hitting just shy of 300, but that's kind of the luxury we're used to in being fans of Anna Gold, is seeing her bat 350, 360. But to your point, Chris, there's so many other ways that she affects this offense. Has a ton of speed, can put bunts down, scores runs, and she'll also hit the ball in the outfield. So when there's runners in scoring position, she'll get sac flies. And then even further, she plays great defense. So a huge part of this team all around.
Fouls that one up the third baseline. I mean, I haven't had a home run since like 1998.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. It's been years for me as well.
Good at bat here by Gold. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming for the Blue Devil third baseman.
And also, they circle Anna Gold's name still. Despite the numbers not jumping off the paper like they did last year at this point, they're still pitching her carefully.
So Gold has seen pretty much everything in the arsenal now from Gress. Is Gold looking for a certain pitch here?
Well, she's getting a heavy dose of up and in. And that's how you pitch Anna Gold, is you work up and in, you try to get her to chase and get herself out. Anything out over the plate, she'll make you pay. She hit a curveball off the wall last at bat. But I'd expect either up and in here or pull the string on the changeup. Gress's changeup has had good command early in this game. So one of those two.
Tapia led off the inning, reaching on an error. She's at first with 2 out. And Gold off the handle of the bat stays alive.
Gress is so good at dotting that pitch on the inner half. Right in the river, right as a hitter where you're unsure if it's going to be a ball or strike, but it's too close to take. And you're sitting in a good position when you get Anna Gold fouling balls off to the left side.
Gress and Gold, another one. And the battle continues. 10th pitch of the at-bat coming.
And the difficult aspect is Anna Gold has that changeup in the back of her mind, which makes her a little bit more late to that up and in pitch. She can't sell out to that pitch knowing that the changeup or curveball could come.
To left field, and foul. It stay in play. It will. Knight tracks it down, and Knight retires Gold and the. If there's not a dangerous part, but this is the part you're really focused on here if you're the Blue Devils. Without 1-0 lead, Garrett grounded out in her first at bat and leads in the count here, ball 1. We did see Curd fall behind a little more in that third inning and falls behind here.
Yeah, tried to work the off speed there, which is going to be crucial for her as the season rolls on. She'll need that change of speeds to keep hitters off balance.
There's a swing and a foul to level the count.
Really nice cut there by Kaya Garrett getting on top. That's going to be huge. Hit ground balls through the infield, or at least that's the approach. And if you try to hit over top of the ball, you likely run into one. Let the wind help you here on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon.
Up the middle and through, a base hit. So Garrett, the first hit for the 49ers. Right back where it came from, and a good start for Charlotte in the 4th.
And the rest of this lineup needs to follow the approach of Kaya Garrett. Get on top, hit ground balls through the infield. One thing about the Duke softball stadium field is it is hard. And so use that to your advantage. Hit ground balls hard through the infield. Kaya Garrett does it very well there.
Christina Wellen comes on to run at first base.
Charlotte has a pinch runner at first. She is number 14, Christina Wellen. Third baseman number 2, Ella Chansey.
Chansey reached on that strikeout her first time up. Whistles one foul for strike one.
And just a tad late there, but Ella Chansey, the rest of these Niners hitters are starting to get on time. And if you're head coach Ashley Chastain, that's exactly what you want to see off Cassidy Curd.
Popped to second in between Hop, and the tag applied by Vega. That's all they'll get. As Wellen tagged out, one down. A little in between hop there for Vega. Made the right play.
Yeah, nice play. Nothing you can do if you're Wellen. That ball kind of hangs up there. You want to make sure it's not caught. But that's a pre-pitch thing as a base runner. You have to see where the infield is, what the depth of the infield is. Knowing Vega's back a little bit there, I think Wellen could have had a little bit better of a jump. But either way, Amina Vega makes the play.
Now Winters pops that one up. Right side, Tapia caught off by Vega. Ooh. And the wind playing a little trick there. But Vega able to haul it in, and she's motioning at the wind.
Second baseman, number 4.
Yeah, Vega makes this play look easy, folks. I promise you, it's not. With the wind howling like it is here in Durham today, so difficult to keep track of the ball, especially with the sun as a factor too. Amina Vega so good at second base for this Duke team.
Well, the wind and the sun too. I mean, there are some clouds, but a pretty high sky here. As that one's low, ball one to Corey Hoffler. There's a look at the high sky. Beautiful day in the Bull City. Didn't start out that way, had some nasty rain and winds earlier this morning, but it's cleared out and become a beautiful day for softball. Fisted to the left side and fair, a base hit. So Hoffler aboard, and the 49ers with a 2-out threat brewing, 2 on, and they're looking for a clutch RBI to get on the board.
This Duke outfield playing back. Curd goes in on the hands of Hoffler, and the ball has eyes, finds a hole in shallow left. And with 2 outs and the outfield back, Duke was trying to prevent a double, which would score a run, but there gives up the single. But, you know, that's why.
Dirks dig it in. And that hit her right in the elbow guard, but they're going to say she leaned into it here. And so it'll be a runner back at home plate, and Dirks said has to be summoned back by the home plate umpire. Good call there by Eddie Hall.
If the ball is not completely in the batter's box, you have to make an attempt to get out of the way. Here, the left elbow of Dirks right over the river. So because it's not completely in the batter's box, you have to make an attempt to get out of the way there. And I think it's the right call by Eddie Hall, our home plate umpire.
Ashley Chastain, the 49er head coach, getting an explanation. Remember, she's already challenged one play today. That was successful, but to your point, she did not get that challenge back. And it looks like she is not going to use the challenge here. So 0-1 to count on Dirks. A fortunate break for Cassidy Curd and the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, and I like the approach by Dirks. Run to first. Run to first. Don't give the umpire time to think about it. Eddie Hall was right on top of it, but a nice job by the sophomore.
Evens up the count. Do you like that rule?
I do, especially with the Evo Shield being on the left elbow nowadays. You get really bold in the box. I was one of them. I got hit by pitches all the time. But you got to give the pitcher the river to work with.
Fouled away.
And I love that Cassidy Curd is not afraid to go right back to that part of the zone. That's where she has most success against righties, is getting in on the hands and climbing the ladder. Really effective pitch by the sophomore.
2 balls and a strike here on Dirks. Two and two. And now Curd a pitch away from hanging another 0 on the board. Has worked into a little bit of trouble for the first time today. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 count. The deuces are wild in the 4th. And Curd delivers. Got her to end the inning.
What to expect, and Charlotte 49ers definitely know what to expect late in the postseason.
Kelly Torres will start things for Duke. She's been the difference maker today. The RBI single in the 2nd, which is accounted for the only run today. Speaks to the quality of competition that's in this area as well, as Torres bunts up the first base line, and she goes out of the runner's lane and will be tagged out to start the 4th inning. But if you're Charlotte or Duke or anybody in this area, within a 3.5 hour drive of so many top 25 programs.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlotte traveling to NC State a few weeks back, here at Duke. And, you know, they went to Clemson. Virginia Tech's not too far away. This is a softball haven, if you will. I mean, a lot of players here in the Triangle, but all over North Carolina, there's good softball.
Nobody on, 1 out for Freelick. Wallops that one to shallow center, but playable for Mitchell, 2 down.
And Sam Gress has found a rhythm. She's found a rhythm
number 23,
and has used that screwball very effectively. These righties are having a really hard time getting their barrel around that pitch, getting their barrel out in front of them. And Gress has not deviated from that game plan.
Brings Sarah Goddard to the plate. 5 in a row set down by Gress as that one's bunted foul.
And Duke has used a ton of ways to score all year long, so showing bunt and trying to use that tool is not something new, but it's a bit surprising with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th to show bunt. But that also speaks to the depth of this Duke offense, that anyone can hit a double in the gap at any moment.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. All right, if you're Gress, what are you going back to here?
I think you go up and in or chase away. Goddard has had trouble with that up and in screwball, so you climb the zone, make her make the mistake, and get an easy fly out.
That one hit her on the shoe top. And a break for Duke, a 2-out base runner. Just the 4th hit batter that Gress has issued this season.
And that one hurts. Fastball inner half, catches the leg of Goddard, especially in an 0-2 count when you feel like you're in control.
Shortstop, number 25,
to give up that 2-out base runner definitely hurts against this Duke offense, like we talked about, that anyone on any given day can be the hero.
Blue Devils 0 for 2 with 2 out this afternoon. Just 2 for 9 with runners on base. Lofted to left. Night is over and runs out of room. A nice catch in the bullpen down there as well. Jayla Wright with a nice play. She was going to throw it back, but nobody was there. That's fouled down the left field line again. 0-2 on Baker, out in front of each of the last 2 pitches.
Yeah, a lot of these righties are fouling pitches off to the left side, and although they're hard hits, it's a strike. And I think for Sam Gress, that's exactly what she wants you to do. Get around a pitch, foul it off to the left side, get ahead. And she's doing it very, very well.
Another 2-strike pitch. That one to the right side, and a sliding catch by Dirks to end the inning. Dirks flashing the leather. Caleb Mitchell, the center fielder. Cassidy Curd continuing on for Duke, and the first pitch is fouled away. Williams, the freshman from Youngsville, North Carolina. To the right side for Davidson. 1 out. So the move to the pinch hitter does not pay off there for the 49ers. Just maybe looking for a spark off the bench. And now Richty will come up. Well, she will be removed for a pinch hitter as well. Savannah Wynn will be the hitter.
Yeah, Savannah Wynn, the shortstop, the mainstay shortstop last year. A little slower start offensively for her this year. Ashley Chastain, I like this move. Get her going, give her an opportunity here against Duke, a team that she has faced before.
So the numbers there on Wynn. That's upstairs, ball one. And this is the 8-9 place hitters in the order, so is it all about just trying to find something to get the offense going for Charlotte?
It could be, but it also could be defensive substitutions as well. We'll see on the next half inning whether Savannah Wynn stays at shortstop, where she's very, very good, and even for Williams as well out in center field. Because as it's getting, we're getting down to the wire here. In the 5th inning, 1-0 Duke, but I know for Duke you're not comfortable, and for Charlotte you want to hold that lead in whatever way you can.
Following a strike. Curd continuing on in the circle for the Blue Devils. And a little bit low here. Tough take by Wynn. It's a veteran with some really good plate discipline right there.
Yeah, nice job for Savannah Wynn to take that pitch right, very close to the inner half. And a leverage count of 1-1, it goes in Wynn's way. Now she's in the leverage position.
And that hit her right in the helmet. And Wynn not happy. Just javelins the bat aside. And Charlotte's got the tying run aboard with 1 out and the top of the order coming up. Only the 3rd batter that Curd has hit this year.
Yeah, we don't often see it actually hit the ear hole, but here it does. And we're so thankful for the helmets and the face masks. And I know Savannah Wynn is thankful to be on base, but hoping she didn't get cut up by one of her earrings.
Says she's okay.
It always feels good when you make it on base and you're relatively unharmed. Glad she's okay. It was a pretty scary hit by pitch there.
So a 1-out base runner for the 49ers, and I think we're going to see Duke making some changes here as Marissa Young, the Duke head coach, will head out and change pitchers. We saw Jayla Wright getting loose, and we'll see who it is.
And so a huge moment or late in this game to make that change.
Can't close the book on Curd, the runner at base, on base, her responsibility. And we'll reset the pitch clock here. You see the sun right in the face of Knight, the left-handed batter. I wonder if that's going to have any impact on her at bat, able to see the ball here.
Yeah, anytime it's in and out of the shadows, it's an element that makes the at-bat even more difficult, and especially off Jayla Wright, who throws around 70 miles per hour and then pull the string on the changeup at 60 miles per hour. That 10-mile-per-hour difference is so good for her, but so difficult as a hitter to hit.
Outside, evens the count. Knight has struck out and walked. A lot of batters struck out against Cassidy Curd today. 7 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings. But has turned it over to her teammates here. Trying to get the final outs, a swinging strike. And Knight behind in the count 1-2.
And this really is a test to the offense of the 49ers. Can they adjust from high velocity up in the zone to a drop ball that falls off the table? 2 very different swing planes. And so Abigail Knight, we saw there whiffing on that drop ball, has to adjust quicker.
To the right side, Vega, the in-between hop, goes to second and gets the lead runner. That was a bit of a dangerous play there, but it worked out for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Knight gets on top of this one, and it's kind of the slow toss that makes this play close.
First baseman number 20.
Looks like they got her easily, but a really nice job by Vega to read the pace of that one and to go and get the leadoff runner. That's what elite teams do, but sort of a risky move like you mentioned, Chris.
So, 2 out, runner at first, and Rhodey hits in 13 of her last 14 games. Coming up, she's 0 for 2 today. but has been the hottest batter in the lineup. Comes up empty here. Brody with 2 home runs yesterday to bring her total up to 13 for the sophomore.
Yeah, what a season. What a season for Ariana Rodi. She hits power to all field. She's very patient at the plate, having a stellar sophomore campaign.
Good stop there by Torres as the count evens.
And not only does the offense have to adjust, but the catcher has to adjust too. Kelly Torres coming from Cassie Curd, who's a little bit more wild up in the zone, to Jayla Wright, who has a sneaky drop ball that will just fall off the table.
Moving inside, nearly hit her. Brody helping get the call there, perhaps. Knifing out of the way.
Yeah, although hit the center chest of Kelly Torres right on the glove, I really like the call by Eddie Hall not to call that a strike. Sometimes when it hits the catcher right on her mitt, umpires will give you that call, but I like the discipline by our home plate umpire.
That one in the dirt, runner going for second, an aggressive steal, and it's out! What a throw by Torres to end the inning.
With that laser arm.
5th inning. As the first pitch smacked to left field and down, a base hit. Williams, big part, that's Knight in left field that couldn't haul it in. That's Wellen who's back in the game to play left field. So Wellen is in, it doesn't matter, Jennings has a base hit. And an insurance runner is aboard for Duke at the top of the order coming up.
And that's what Deanna Jennings will do to you. She'll find holes in your defense. She'll use her speed, because speed, Chris, does not slump. She'll pass the bat to Giselle Tapia, and Charlotte is very shallow, expecting a bunt here from Tapia.
Rolls it up the third base line, and a foul ball. Chansey gloved that one. I thought if she waited another half second, the ball was probably going to go foul.
Yeah, from our vantage point, it did look like a fair ball, but our home plate umpire, Eddie Hall, had a perfect view of it. Right up the line, and that's really tight, really close. But we play on.
We do play on. 1 strike on Tapia. By the way, Williams did stay in the game to play center field for the 49ers. That one bunted and to first in time for the out. So Jennings up to second base. One down. And now decision time here for the 49ers. How do you approach it with Davidson and Vega back to back?
It's tricky. It's absolutely tricky. I think you've had success off with Davidson so far in this game, so you attack her. Vega is also 0-for, but has hit hard balls to the right side. So I think you go at Davidson, and then if you have the opportunity to work around Vega, you work around her.
Davidson takes a strike. Did walk in her first at bat today. And Marissa Young wants to use one of her offensive conferences. You like this move by the Duke head coach?
Yeah, I think she's going to talk to Deanna Jennings about the potential show bunt steal opportunity here. Because of the shift that Charlotte has, there is that opening, but you have to show bunt to see how the defense reacts first. But also just give yourself a chance to talk to Claire Davidson about what to expect. She's had a steady dose of screwballs on the outer half. And the thing is, to beat Claire Davidson, you have to go in at some point. But the problem is, if you miss over the middle trying to go in on the hands of Davidson, she will make you pay. So I like if Gress could keep working that screwball in the outside half.
Bunted up the third base line, that'll turn foul. Probably not in play here, but if you're thinking about the stolen base like we were talking about a moment ago, teams are 9 for 9 against Gress in stolen bases this year, and 7 of 18 against Winters behind the plate. 17 of 18. But again, with 2 strikes, probably not in play here. Davidson just got to find a way to protect. Down to the count 0-2. And a good take there.
Yeah, really nice pitch off the outside edge for Gress. It's interesting to bunt there, and I understand with Chansey playing back, that's a base hit, but you know, anytime your hitter's batting plus 400, it's difficult to make the decision to take the bat out of her hands. But that's why, Chris, I don't get paid the big bucks. That's why I'm not out there.
2-2 the count. You're the coach up here.
Oh, please.
Big insurance run at second base for Duke. And Davidson has battled her way back to work the count full after the Duke right fielder was behind in the count 0-2. A chance here to put 2 on with 1 out. Big pitch here for Gress.
And this for Gress, this is going to be black or white. You can live to see another day with a base on balls.
Davidson out to center field, hit well. Williams back, overhead and gone. A 2-run homer for Claire Davidson. And insurance for Duke in the 5th.
She knocks in Deanna Jennings for 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th for Duke.
Duke team the insurance that they need.
And they appeal to third. No swing on Vega. Ball 1.
And if Amina Vega is not sitting behind Claire Davidson in this lineup, Claire Davidson's on first base right now. She's walked. If you're smart, which Ashley Chastain and the rest of her staff is one of the best staffs in the country. But Amina Vega sitting right behind Claire Davidson just does not allow you that luxury. And even behind her, Anna Gold, who's had a ton of success against Charlotte in her career, protects Amina Vega. Just so much depth in this Duke offense.
Ball 2. That's just a back-breaking swing there for Davidson. Charlotte felt like they were, and they still are very much in the game, but 1-0, so much different than a 3-run game, especially this late.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it hurts knowing that Claire Davidson is one of the players you circle that, hey, we won't let her beat us. And of course she does. And it's a well-executed pitch by Sam Gress. They're going to go back and look at the video. And sometimes the hitter beats you. And that's just the reality of being a pitcher. And for a hitter, sometimes the pitcher beats you. And that's why this game is so awesome.
Out to left field, another well-struck ball. This is extra bases for Vega, off the base of the wall, and it's back-to-back extra base hits for Duke.
Hey, that's a double for Vega. Time for the double bubble gum toss.
And this 1-2 punch does not let up. This time Gress goes with the off-speed. Vega kills time with her legs and uses the power to her backside to hit one off the base of the wall. It just does not get easier as you move through this Duke lineup, and it looks like Charlotte will make a change.
49ers going to the bullpen. The new pitcher is Georgiana Barefoot. She'll come in for the 49ers as the Blue Devils have opened it up in the 5th. Duke by 3 and looking for more. Barefoot in the circle for the 49ers. And you return to Durham. Big inning for the Blue Devils, and Georgiana Barefoot will come on, the senior from Wake Forest, to try and quell the Duke momentum as she has to contend with Anna Gold here. The first batter she sees, and she misses, ball 1. Gold, who has tripled and fouled out today. And Gold ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. Barefoot worked in 14 games a season ago, 4-2 with a 5.3 ERA last year. Gold, a big swing and a miss here. She's into her 26th game already this year is Barefoot. 7-1 with a 2.2 ERA, so she has been phenomenal for the 49ers, both starting and relieving. Sorry,
yes,
Ray.
No, sorry, Chris. She's been huge. She's stepped up with Sam Gress facing an injury, and she's pitched incredibly well. The Campbell transfer, attacks a zone, has a really nasty curveball, which we'll see very often coming from the right-hander that has some action up in the zone as well. But what a job she's done. I mean, +5 ERA a year ago, and now leading the team in innings. A huge workhorse for this 49ers program.
Yeah, second-year transfer. And she misses low on Gold. A good 2-strike pitch there. 3-2 on the Duke third baseman. 2 runs home this inning for Duke. And Gold finds her way aboard. Second walk issued by 49er pitching today. And now Duke a chance for a big inning here. Leading by 3. 2 on and still just 1 out in the inning.
Catcher number 3, Kelly Torres.
And this is where Duke will get you. That third time through the lineup, this offense is very difficult to beat. You got to be able to mix pitches, attack the zone, and change speeds.
Torres takes that rise ball upstairs.
And a very different approach for Georgiana Barefoot because she works that glove side curveball, meaning away to righties, into lefties so effectively. But these righties struggle with hard in, is what Sam Gress threw to them early and often in this game. So a completely different shift in offensive approach if you're Duke.
You know, Sam Gress, when you look at the box score after the game, you're going to see the 3-ish or more runs, the 6 hits, and 4 1/3 innings. But I thought really pitched better than maybe her line score would indicate.
Absolutely. And you just got to credit the Duke offense. And you got to credit Claire Davidson. I mean, she's been phenomenal. And Sam Gress might very well see this Duke offense again. And I expect her to get the ball. You know, if Charlotte ends up making the tournament, which I believe they deserve based on their resume thus far, they could very well come to Durham once more. And I think Sam Gress in the circle gives them such a good opportunity to take a win from this very, very stout Duke offense.
You mentioned should make the tournament. I mean, this is a team that right now 8 games over 500, swinging a miss 3-2. Top 40 RPI, really tough strength of schedule. Wins over 3 ranked teams this year. Do you feel like the American is going to be a multi-bid league?
I think they should be. And I think there's a very good case for them to be.
That's off the glove of Barefoot, and everybody's saved. So an unlucky break for the 49ers. It'll be an infield hit for Torres. And now the base is loaded for the Blue Devils with only 1 out.
Loaded conference. I mean, FAU, Florida Atlantic has been very impressive this year. Wichita State is always a powerhouse, mid-major. I mean, Charlotte, North Texas, Tulsa. You can go up and down the line. East Carolina has put together a really solid year as well.
Fouled off to the right and out of play.
And Charlotte got the at-large bid last year for the first time in program history. But anytime you don't win the conference tournament, you don't ensure that you'll make the tournament. Yeah. Crazier things have happened. I mean, Minnesota a few years back went, I think, 55-5 or something like that, and they got gypped.
Out to center field, playable for Williams. That should be deep enough to get the run home. Everybody tags up, and Duke's got him at second and third, 2 out, and now leading by 4.
It brings in Amina Vega.
So Vega scores.
For run number 3 in this inning.
That'll close the book on Gress. All 4 runs charged to her. And Headsy base running by the Blue Devils to move up as well as Freelick with her 22nd RBI of the year.
Duke has a pinch hitter.
Pinch hitter here for the Blue Devils.
Amaya Burgess.
Burgess will come on to pinch hit. Burgess takes low, ball 1. Just to complete the thought on the 49ers, this is their first year in the American and acquitting themselves very well at making that jump from Conference USA to the American Athletic Conference.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done a really good job this year. You know, you look at the East Carolina series loss, and that one hurts. But for folks who don't know East Carolina softball, it's a very good program. Shane Winkler has done a good job, and that program is building. But for them to take the series against Wichita State, come from behind 2 of those games, they're a relentless team. And Ashley Chastain last year, they were rewarded for the strength of schedule. Under
the glove of Hoffler into right center field. 2 more runs will score, and a 6-run Duke lead in the 5th.
Brings in 2 more runs for Duke, including Anna Gold and Kelly Torres.
Amaya Burgess has been a freshman that has greatly impressed head coach Marissa Young, and it's for plays like this, to come in late into a game, to be on time, and to hit balls hard. 2 RBI single for the freshman, and Duke is up 6-0.
Tough play for Hoffler, but probably a ball that if you ask her, she's going to say she probably should have had. You mentioned how hard this infield is. I don't think Hoffler ever got the hop she was looking for.
No, and when you're playing at a visiting field, especially this field here at Duke Softball Stadium, not only does the infield get hard, but the hops can get unpredictable. Played third base here, and late in games, I would get a little bit nervous about those bad hops, and there Hoffler just unable to read that hop effectively, but it helps when you hit the ball hard.
Baker, the 8th batter this inning for the Blue Devils. Duke has scored 5 times in the frame to break open what was a very close ball game. Now, if you're the Blue Devils, you're thinking, hey, long one here would end it. Would be their 10th run rule victory of the season if they can get 2 more. But Barefoot trying to get one more strike and let her team try to get something going on offense. And that will end the inning. 9 batters come to the plate. 5 of them score for the Blue Devils.
The fandom is growing here in Durham as this team is improving year after year.
I'm more impressed if someone can count on 3 hands.
Well, that's fair. How about feet, too?
Okay.
2 hands, 1 foot.
Rhodey leads off in the 6th inning for the 49ers against Jayla Wright. Wright came on and got the big outs for the Blue Devils in the 5th inning, and Rhodey will be retired here as Gold makes the play for out number 1.
We talked about Anna Gold offensively, but defensively she can do it well. Reads the hop, has a cannon, fires it over to get Rhodey. And that's the advantage you have of that 6-run lead if you're Jayla Wright, to attack the zone, trust your defense behind you, and there Anna Gold shows it off.
Re-entering for Charlotte.
Garrett will re-enter here for Charlotte after Wellen got the single. Six-0 Duke advantage after the Blue Devils scored 5 times in the 5th, and Wright wants to reset. Just 2 hits for the 49ers today. There's a called strike on Garrett. Cassidy Curd gets a lot of credit for the way she pitched for the Blue Devils today. 2 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, and 4 1/3 inning. And did a really nice job pitching out of trouble when she did work her way into maybe a sticky situation.
Yeah, what a luxury that head coach Marissa Young has in this Blue Devil bullpen. Got 5 arms, and you can go to any of them at any point. Cassidy Curd wasn't pitching poorly when she got taken out, but you know, when you have an ace and for me a future All-American in Jayla Wright in the bullpen, why not give her some innings in the midweek?
Line to the left side, and Gold can't make the play. That's a fair ball. And down the left field line, testing the arm, and safe at second is Garrett. A bang-bang play. And let's see if Duke wants to challenge. They do. I thought you could probably challenge a couple of plays. And what is the verdict? And it's out. Call is overturned.
Call has been overturned. The runner at second is out. 2 down.
This is the one that was the convincing one for the umpires here, Rain.
Third baseman.
Yeah, and it looks pretty clear. A really nice tag by Amina Vega. Let the ball get deep, immediately go to the front of the bag. That's textbook by the sophomore.
That's twice today, once for each side, that we have seen a call overturned on a challenge. Ashley Chastain over to get an explanation. I think she just wanted to know what the umpires saw on the review. So now the bases are empty. All of a sudden 2 are out, and Chansey coming up. She takes ball 1. Chansey struck out but reached on a wild pitch earlier today. Also reached on a fielder's choice. Went around on the pitch in the dirt, 1-1. 2-1 the count on Chansey. Hitters count here for the third baseman. 2-2. Another nasty pitch there from Jayla Wright.
That's nasty for folks at home. You know, it looks like it's not even close to the zone. Why would she swing at that? That's the movement and the velocity from Jayla Wright. Coming out of the hand, looks like it's going to be at the bottom of the zone and just falls off the table. So if you're Charlotte, you got to see it higher out of the hand.
Outside, runs the count full. Let's go back and look at that last pitch.
And, you know, not only does it have movement from Jayla Wright, coming out of the hand, tumbling 12-6 spin, really nice block by Kelly Torres once again, but also at 70 miles per hour, so really hard to put the brakes on to that pitch.
Now 3-2 on Chansey with the bases empty, and that will end the inning. Torres completes the strikeout, and so Wright with the shutdown inning, the singled up. It'll be the 9-1-2 batter. It's against Barefoot, who came on to finish the fifth inning. And there's strike one to open up the sixth. Talked a lot about the 49ers, and obviously we're just getting a small snapshot of this team today. 21-13 as play begins. There's still a chance to finish in the top two that could even win the American. What do you make of this Charlotte club?
They're pretty good. They're really well coached. They know who they are. They're confident. They face the best of the best. They have the pitching. I think the offense for them is going to be the piece that they're going to look to improve upon as they go throughout this year. But they lost a couple really solid bats in the lineup last year. But, you know, we talked about it before the game, Chris. There's a lot of freshmen and sophomores on this team. And so they're going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to build. And I think this weekend against Florida Atlantic will be a huge weekend in terms of the American Athletic.
Especially having that series at home. We talked about it earlier. Duke 16-0 at home this year. The Blue Devils have protected their home turf. And Charlotte, a team that has been good at home, 10-6 this year. I mean, that's a series that you feel like, hey, we need to win if we're going to contend in the league. Off the glove of the pitcher, out to the second baseman, and no shot for Hoffler as Jennings is aboard for the second time.
And all year long, we talked about earlier in this game, is being out of the box. This one, her left foot goes over that line. So by the rule of the book, it should be strike three. But here's the thing. Our home plate umpire, Eddie Hall, has a lot of responsibilities. To see a pitch come in at 65 miles per hour on a two-strike count, try to determine it's a ball and a strike, and look for that is very, very difficult.
Swing and a miss. The runner was going, so it'll be a stolen base and a strike on Tapia. At least I assume it'll be a stolen base, but runners seem to be going on the play.
And I wonder if they had Giselle Tapia on to protect the runner, if you will, swing through it, hold Winters back behind the plate.
It is a steal for Jennings, her 10th of the year, and 0-2 now on Tapia. Let's go back to that outside the box there. Is that something that Charlotte could challenge if they feel like they saw it from the dugout, or is that just a judgment call?
It's an in-the-moment call. It's a delayed dead ball call by our home plate umpire. And the fans are jumping on Eddie Hall, the Charlotte fans, because they can see that pretty clearly. But like we talked about, Chris, it's a difficult thing for the home plate umpire to have the responsibility of. But the good news is,
to left field, caught by Knight, who returned to the outfield, one down.
The good news is if you're a Niners fan, knowing in postseason a four-man crew, there will be an umpire right behind the pitcher, right behind second base, that has a really good look. And in the postseason, they'll have that call. They'll have the ability to make that call. And it's also something that I got to credit the umpires so far in this season. They've called Deanna Jennings on that often. Very, very often, multiple times in counts. Just a difficult thing for our umpires to see and call balls and strikes.
Here's Claire Davidson, a two-run homer her last time up, and takes strike one. Called strike. 0-2. To the right side, the first baseman, Rhodey, is there. Up to third goes Jennings, but with 2 out.
Really productive out there by Claire Davidson. Obviously doesn't get the result that she might want. And for Georgiana Barefoot, what a well-executed pitch. Get Davidson to roll over. Nice job by Ariana Rhodey, make that play. And now you have to face Vega with 2 outs.
Saw Davidson stop there for a moment on her way back to the dugout to give a quick scouting report to Vega. That's what we talked about earlier. One of those older players, one of the younger players, just a culture play, culture move there, if you will.
Absolutely, and a lot of times, you know, when there is not a successful moment as an athlete, you get internal. But Claire Davidson is one of the best teammates I've ever been around, one of the best athletes, one of the best humans I've ever been around. And to not have the result you wanted, but to focus on your teammate who's coming up next, who's also a lefty, has similar tendencies, is so huge for a culture of your team.
Caught a strike. Vega coming off a phenomenal weekend in the sweep of Virginia Tech, 7 for 10, 3 home runs and 9 RBI. Huge catalyst for this Duke team.
Absolutely. It's very difficult to sweep any team in the ACC, but especially Virginia Tech. They are not a team to be messed around with. Great pitching, Lindley and Grind, and Amina Vega really put the team on her back. You know, if she were not in the lineup, I don't know how that series goes. She was huge, she was clutch, she made adjustments pitch to pitch, and anytime Grind or Lindley missed over the plate, Vega made them pay.
Outside, evens the count. Just continues to be an impressive year from Marissa Young's club. Looking for their 17th home win today, and they will be 3 outs away from getting it. Vega strikes out. The leadoff single does no harm as Jennings stranded at third. And now it is the final 3 outs here for the 49ers. Winters leads off, rolls one to third. Gold up with it, and airmails one down the right field line. So leadoff runner is aboard on what will be the error by Gold, her 6th error of the season.
Yeah, Anna Gold does a really nice job of attacking this ball, throwing on the run, and if there's been an Achilles heel with her defense, it's been the throws. The errant throws have hurt Anna Gold here this year, but a nice job. She does the hard part well, and you know, back in my playing days at third base, that was my hardest part too. So sometimes you just get in your head about that long throw over from third base as Charlotte takes the advantage.
Zampa has moved to left field for the Blue Devils, by the way. Throw behind the runner at first, who's back. Nothing and 1 on Hoffler here with 1 on and nobody out. Outside, ball 2, or ball 1, pardon me. Big weekend coming up for the Blue Devils. They'll stay at home for a big series against North Carolina. Battle of the Blues. Chance for the Blue Devils to continue their perfect run here at home and continue to pace the ACC. Blue Devils off to a 10-2 start in the league. To the right side, in between hop, knocked down. Second for 1, and nothing on the return throw to first.
Amina Vega continues to make plays like this look easy. Corey Hoffler gets a really nice piece of this one. Vega stays with it after the bobble. Nearly a double play, but Hoffler uses the speed, finds the way on.
So Hoffler, as you mentioned, is aboard. Dirk's coming up now. And she takes just outside, maybe a skosh high.
And it's pretty nasty stuff when, you know, you bring in what many would say based on innings, the number 4 in your bullpen. And she's mixing in speeds, mixing in a changeup, off-speed rise ball, and then can throw 66 at you.
By the way, the first pitch was called a strike. Bit of a tardy call, but a strike nonetheless. And the wild pitch moves Hoffler up to second base.
And for Danny Drugmuller, this is a kind of uncharted territory coming from Pitt, had a ton of innings throughout her career. So a little bit different role, but I imagine as the season rolls on and teams start circling the names of Jayla Wright, Cassidy Curd, there's going to be a moment that Danny Drugmuller steps in and is huge for this pitching staff. She's just got such good stuff, Chris.
It's pretty good when you got somebody like that, as you mentioned, third out of your bullpen today. Embarrassment of riches.
Absolutely.
But isn't that the way it goes on a successful team in a season like Duke is in the midst of? It's always somebody different that seems to step up in big moments.
Absolutely, and I think that's what makes them elite. I mean, you look at the programs at the top of the country, Oklahoma stacked in the bullpen, stacked with their pitching staff. Texas stacked with their pitching staff. And you have to have multiple arms.
To the left side, Baker up with it, low throw. Tapia can't dig it out. And Charlotte putting something together in the 7th with 2 on and 1 down.
And Charlotte's just continuing to battle, and that's what you want if you're Ashley Chastain. Here, Baker does a really nice job, but unable to make the clean throw. Tapia normally so good at picking balls out of the dirt, unable to pick this one. And if you're Duke here, and you might win 6-0. That might be the result of this game with 2 outs to go. They're gonna make you pay, and that's the same thing as you see when you're facing a team like Duke. You just cannot give them extra opportunities. And so although in the win-loss column it seems okay, those mistakes will come back to bite you.
They did rule that a base hit for Dirks, by the way, as the pitch is outside. Ball 1 on Williams. Whistled foul off to the right, 1-1. All of a sudden, if Williams can poke one out of here, it becomes pretty interesting for the 49ers.
Absolutely. If they can get to the top of the lineup, if they can get Ariana Rhodey up, then you're in striking distance here late in this game.
1-1 on Williams. 2-1 on Williams. Couple of come-from-behind wins for Charlotte against Wichita State, and trying to have a big come-from-behind win here. Out to right center field, should hang up for Jennings. There's the second out, runner tags and scores, and the 49ers are on the board. But they're down to their final out.
Shortstop. 33.
And for Charlotte and Ashley Chastain, if this game is not going in their favor, it's going to be moments like that they pull and say, hey, Olivia Williams, really nice job stepping in and manufacturing a run. There's bright spots to take out of this outing if you're Charlotte.
And that's in there for a called strike as Richie back in to hit. Was 0 for 1 earlier today. And a swing and a foul, and the 49ers down to their final strike. A 1-run game for much of the contest before the Blue Devils exploded for 5 runs in the 5th and really put this game away. Now, the final strike perhaps for the 49ers this afternoon. Throw behind the runner at first, and Dirks is back. Boy, that would have been a tough way to end the ball game for Dirks to get picked off of first base.
Yeah, and Kelly Torres, so aggressive. When she sees base runners take any sort of advantage, she is not afraid to throw behind them.
Popped up. Baker, the shortstop, has it. And the Blue Devils remain perfect at home with a 6-1 victory.